Y'all see the title, man. Let's get to it.
Well, they've done it again. What am I referring to? It looks like
Yeah.
Malika Andrews is getting another huge promotion. According to various reports, Malika Andrews will now be replacing Mike Greenberg as the host of the ESPN NBA Finals, and it's official. Funny enough, we had already kind of planned content for the day, but then all of a sudden this.
Wait, she hosting the NBA Finals? Nah. Wait. Oh man, for
It's
the
official.
ESPN.
Funny
Oh
enough,
man,
we had already kind of planned content for the day, but then all of a sudden this information came out,
that's
and I was like,
crazy.
okay, we definitely have to produce something around this. Now,
I
for
shouldn't be
those of you who
surprised
know,
though.
Malika Andrews has been with the network at ESPN for quite some time, but she seems to be a very polarizing figure. She's had a litany of blow-ups with some of her colleagues on live television. Of course, we know the infamous one that she had with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take, surrounding the Ime Udoka situation, where she went on the show and basically tried to dictate to him how, how things are going to go and what he should talk about and what he shouldn't talk about. And Stephen A. Smith had to push back on that. She's also quite infamous for some of the things she said around various black players by bringing up their lowest moments at the worst time. Another example of that, the latest example, is when it took place during the NBA draft when Brandon Miller, I believe he was the second overall pick, if I'm not mistaken, second or third, if my memory serves me properly. And she brought up an incident that he was involved with, but nothing he was ever charged over. She brought that up during the draft, and a lot of us were sitting back asking the question, wait a minute, you bringing this up, what is this supposed to do? Are they going to? Is it going to change his drafting position? Are they going to stand up the teams that are looking to draft him and say, "Hey, listen, no, we don't want him anymore"? It's Michael Jordan at the time, and these guys are going to say, "Did you hear the report that Malika Andrews just said? You just put out about Brandon Miller? Now we have to change our tune." Like, why did you say that? Now, some people were
Nah,
saying that she was
facts.
prompted to say that. Whatever the case
Nah,
was,
yeah. I feel like it had to be. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm not. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on, but I believe it could be. She's being prompted to say all this stuff. You know, she's definitely. You know what I'm saying, being used as the face, just push all these narratives that ESPN, I guess, want to
those
push.
words came out of her mouth. We produced shows about it. And let me just tell you something. As someone that's produced quite a few shows about Malika Andrews, a lot of the viewers are not feeling her. They're not feeling her because they feel like she's anti-man. She doesn't like men, certain type of men at least. And she's always seems to be angry at guys for whatever reason. And none of us really understand it. Of course, there was a time when she disrespected the legacy of Kobe Bryant on television with Matt Barnes, who actually played with Kobe, was actually speaking about him, and she's like, no, you have it all wrong, and this and this and this and this. So Malika Andrews has a good amount of people that she polarizes. So then, anyway, so I heard about this story, and I started to research it, and actually we found an article from Sports Illustrated that I actually want to read from. It starts off with the headline, ESPN's Malika Andrews to replace Mike Greenberg as NBA Finals host per report. The article then continues on. ESPN NBA Today's host Malika Andrews is set to become the new host of the NBA Finals for ESPN, according to Andrew Marchand of the New York Post. Andrews will add another marquee sporting event to her broadcasting duties when she replaces Mike Greenberg, who hosted the show for the past 2 years as part of ESPN's NBA Countdown. The 28-year-old moves up in a new role at a time where the network has altered its top NBA talent since the conclusion of this year's NBA Finals. Longtime ESPN play-by-play man Mike Breen will now be joined by Doris Burke and Doc Rivers after the network laid off Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. Initially, ESPN brought Greenberg to fix NBA Countdown following a controversy involving Maria Taylor and Rachel Nichols. The network reached a mutual agreement for Greenberg to leave the show due to his crowded schedule that includes weekday duties on Get Up on TV and Greeny on ESPN Radio. Andrews will continue to host NBA Today in addition to her NBA Finals duties. She has hosted Countdown on multiple occasions in the past 2 years, but has not led the network's NBA Finals or signature editions of the show. Andrews previously served as one of ESPN's sideline reporters in the NBA bubble in 2020. So that's what the article had to say there. Here are my thoughts. You know, ESPN is a very, very interesting place. It's a very, very interesting place. Why do I say this? Well, we broke a story yesterday. I'm sure we weren't the first to do it, but we were amongst the first to do it. We broke the story yesterday that Rachel Nichols will now be hosting or be the host or the moderator alongside Skip Bayless on the revamped Undisputed. We broke that story. We discussed
I've seen the title and thumbnail about that.
For those of you who don't remember, Rachel Nichols was previously employed by ESPN. Now, why did Rachel Nichols leave ESPN? Well, according to ESPN, according to Rachel Nichols, she was in the NBA bubble, and essentially she was talking, and she had finished her show or commentary, but her microphone was still on. Her microphone was still on, and someone was recording, which is something within itself.
I thought it was somebody had a camera in a hotel room or something.
And the audio came out. In the audio, she was expressing her displeasure with the fact that they were going to be relieving her of her NBA Finals duties after they had promised it to her, number one, and after she had worked for it, and instead they were going to be awarding it to Maria Taylor at the time. And she was very, very upset because she felt like they were doing that to fulfill some type of quota, right? And she's like, wait a minute. Are you hiring this person or giving this person this job because they're qualified, or are you doing it to fulfill some type of quota or whatever quota system that you want to fulfill? She was very upset. A lot of us produced shows around that. And to be fair, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes came to her defense. Fantastic. Well, recently at ESPN, they opted to do a show that was produced only by women, only female commentators and our panelists and our host, and it was an all-women show. And they did this. And I asked myself the question at the time, okay, why are you doing this? What is the purpose of doing this? Shouldn't you be hiring people based on their qualifications and their abilities? Why are you skewing in any particular direction? Because whenever you do things like that,
this new age political, quota, whatever, meet the standards of the 2023. It's crazy, bro. I don't know what these people be doing. That's why I don't tune into ESPN and nothing like that. I don't tune in no TV for real. All I watch is YouTube. I don't even watch Netflix, nothing like that. All I watch is YouTube, really.
It seems like you're pandering. It seems like you're pandering. And in an instant like that, you made it perfectly clear that, listen, no men allowed. No men allowed on this show. And the question is, why would you do that, number one? Number two, let me give you guys some data. On our channel, roughly 92 to 91, or say 90, let me say 91 to 93% of our viewers are all male. And I can almost guarantee you, if you go to every single sports creator, you're going to be seeing maybe 90% men, 10% women, depending on the creator. Why am I saying this? The vast majority of people that watch sports, at least these sports, are men. Am I saying that women don't watch sports? No, I didn't say that, did I? What I'm saying is the vast majority of men watch the sport. So to me, the thing I just can't really seem to grasp is, why is ESPN going out of its way to alienate its male viewers? Number one. Number two, why is ESPN setting a precedent that essentially says it's okay to disrespect your male colleagues and nothing happens? I'm going to harp back to the incident that took place between Malika Andrews and Stephen A. Smith. Ask yourself this honest question. If Stephen A. Smith had spoken to Malika Andrews the way she spoke to him, do you think Stephen A. Smith would have been able to walk off scot-free? Honestly. Do you think that if he was dictating to her what it's not going to be and how it's going to be,
ESPN not going to play about Malika Andrews. ESPN probably got Stephen A. out of there too.
Think Stephen A. Smith would have been able to walk away from that incident unscathed? The answer is no. But once the shoes were reversed, no issue with it. And to me, it says that ESPN is trying to send a message. Now, in the case of Malika Andrews, do I know her qualifications? No. Do I care to know her qualifications? You better believe I don't give a damn. You better believe I don't give a damn. But to me, whenever I see things like this take place, it always makes me question the real agenda behind the network. That's a bad.
But that's the end of this one, though, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's not nothing too much we could do. Like, it's the same shit, bro. They got weird people running the business and pushing nasty agendas. You know what I'm saying? Using people that have the face to push what they want to be pushed, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? And that might not even be the case. Malika Andrews might be doing this on her own free will. And if that is the case, that's crazy. That's crazy. That means she's definitely a dub. Like, get out of here. What we doing? But, yeah, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Turn on post notifications. Click on the last reaction. Share the video with your peoples. Social media platforms. And I'm out of here, man.